Good morning, people. I don't know about you weirdos, but I'm exhausted. Oh, Lord. Lord. Oh. Well, good morning. Wow. So, of course, I got woken up this morning by some stray cat out there caterwauling at 3 a.m. Oh, joy. Needless to say, I'm ready to crawl back into bed here. We'll see how long I last this morning. Oh, this is going to help. Oh, coffee. Oh, Lord. My head is not screwed on straight this morning. Yeah. It's not a good morning. Yeah. Anyways, like I said, I was orale. Oh, yeah. I think I'll be crawling into bed here within an hour. Lord. All right. Catter. Hello, am I there? Just checking, because, sometimes the mic says, adios. So, there you go. And if you can't hear me, let me know. I'm a party of one here. Oh, yeah. Oh, San Sebastian. What the hell was that? Must be some gush mints or something. It's a little tangy. So, let's see here. Somebody that I saw on Facebook this morning who left me a comment, and I can't for the life of me remember the guy's YouTube handle. Yeah, but I believe it was from episode 6. And somebody said, what did we say it? Elijah. So this is Elijah at YouTube. He said, thanks for doing this. I hope he met my show, because that is a lovely comment. Thank you, Elijah. Appreciate it. And while I'm at it, thank you again to my beautiful wife for all of her understanding and patience with my insanity. And she does think I'm crazy, and I probably am. A man playing to an audience of 0. So, surprise, surprise. I did not, even though my daughter is going to see Fall Out Boy again in sometime this year, and then March or April or something. And then all of a sudden she hits me with the idea of going to see Fall Out Boy this weekend on the 13th. Wow. Thank you, Natalie. So we're going to see some kind of festival, I think. What do they call those, where the bunch of bands get together and play? Yeah, whatever those things are called. Yeah, so we're going to one up in Anaheim. And the most fantastic part, aside from finally getting to see Fall Out Boy, is I get to see the 1975 again, which is pretty damn cool, because they rock. Thank you. You guys are awesome. 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 Totally awesome. So let's see. We was thinking about talking about some TV this morning, you know. Let's see. So last night on, oh my gosh, where was I? I don't know where I was, on Prime or on Roku. I'm going to say Roku, because I believe that's where I found it before, but it could be Prime, because a lot of stuff has been shuffled over to Prime. But yeah, I watched, last night I watched an episode from season 4 or 5 of Real People. Believe it or not. No, not that show, but Real People. Now, I would kill to see That's Incredible or Those Amazing Animals, but so far they haven't made it onto TV. Now, I'm surprised they dug up, was it 6 or 7 seasons of Real People? Now, previously I had only seen a couple of, like, the first 2 seasons of Real People on Roku years ago. And now okay, so it is Prime. I remember looking back to see, because the first 4 seasons they want you to pay for, but the last 2 seasons you should be able to watch for free. So if you get a chance, jump on and check out Real People on Prime. And there was another show there just down the road from Prime. I mean, just down the road from Real People on Prime. It'll come to me. But another one of those classic TV shows that you just can't live without. Oh, Celebrity Bowling, another show that you didn't know you couldn't live without until you watch it. So same thing. I believe they are also on Prime. They used to be on Roku, but try Celebrity Bowling. I'm not talking Celebrity Deathmatch and that kind of stuff. It's not a bunch of bobble-headed claymation guys running around bowling. It is actual celebrities from the 1960s and 70s bowling. And it's a really fun show. You get to see a lot of stars from the shows back then. Um, I know I remember seeing some Brady kids on there. So that should be interesting. Nonetheless, you really should check out Celebrity Bowling. It's a very, very cool show. Has anyone checked out CPO Sharky or what's that other one that I was watching? Barnaby Jones. There's a good one. And The Fall Guy with Lee Majors as Colt Sievers. Fantastic show. It's a goofball show. They get these two co-stars who couldn't act their way out of a paper box. And I guess that's so that Lee Majors doesn't really have to try too hard as far as the acting thing goes. You remember, he was brilliant. He was just brilliant on Big Valley as Heath Barkley. Kind of an underrated character. But he had it all together back then. Now, when he got the Bionic Man, the $6 Million Man show, again, another heavy drama show. He wasn't a real strong actor, but he was a fantastic character. Just being himself. One of those John Wayne guys, where you don't really have to act too far from yourself, But yeah, good show, good stuff. So slightly a myth on the technical difficulties trying to get the Friday Night Live off and running. I would ask my audience for help, but I'm an audience of one. Well, me. If I'm watching myself, that is. Watch it. So I'm still kind of trying to figure out the whole tactics behind getting more than one camera and more than one mic. I'm assuming it's going to take some kind of digital mixer for the audio and the video to come into and then leave. But I haven't found anything for less than a couple $100. And that's just for the mixer, not to mention the cameras and the microphone. Yeah. Have no fear, I am still here, just warming up my coffee. Just warming up my coffee here. Oh, yeah. So, Patty was going to get online with me this morning. I reckon I'm going to have to start tagging people. But I hate to do so for the morning show. So I'll probably tag one or two people occasionally. But I'm not going to go full bore attacking people to watch my show until I get a live thing on Friday evenings. I figure it's a better chance I'm going to get some kind of response during the live broadcast if it's in the evening. Which, that's cool. This is all just kind of warm up stuff anyway. It gets better with every swallow. Yeah. And then we're going to save the, since I'm not much use in the mornings here, we're going to save this guitar stuff for the Friday evenings and other assorted videos. So we'll just let the music stuff go for now. Although I do need to, if Dave, if you pop in at some point here, I need help getting this mandolin ready to go. Got my wife a mandolin for Christmas, and I need to get it tuned up and ready to play so she can dabble with it. And this would be a great week because we're kind of taking it easy this week. So, oh, and also, Dave, thank you very, very much for the offer of the use of your pickup truck so my daughter can practice some driving. I want to take her off road so she can just hammer that throttle and do some fishtails and slam on the brakes and just do that off-road and stuff so that she can kind of take the fear out of, oh, what happens if I do this? Oh, what if I hit this too hard? What if I turn this? I want her to get out there, and I want her to hit it and get it and feel what it's like when you got to slam on the brakes. Feel what it's like when you got to jerk that steering wheel. Feel what it's like when you lose the traction from out underneath you and you got to fishtail and straighten it out. I want her to feel all of this before she gets out on the main highway. So it's kind of old hat if any of that happens. So thank you, Dave. Yeah, we will take you up on that, and probably this week, if possible, come by and get your pickup truck, because that's an awesome thought, an awesome offer. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to her. She doesn't get a lot of chance to go out and drive because of her schoolwork. Otherwise, she would have had her license at 16 or 17. She's, sheesh. Feels like she's halfway to 20 already. This year she'll be 20. And going off to university in the fall. Of course, that just means commuting. My daughter's going to live at home as long as she wants to live at home. I'm not one of those old-fashioned bastards that say, once you're 18, you're out of my house. I don't do that. If I'm old school anything, I'm old school Mexican, because I'm half Mexican on my wife's side, and her family is like a multi-generational household. Almost every wing of her family, every branch of her family has a kind of a multi generational household. And had I had kids when I was younger, I don't know. If we had more family in the house, that would be fine with me. Of course, it's a horrible little shack of a house, but if family needs to be with family, then you make room for family. That's just all there is to it. I don't plan on my daughter. Well, I guess I do. I plan on my daughter living at home, for the rest of my life, probably. I'm sure at some point she'll want to venture off on her own. I'm hoping that that be no more than a little piece of property with a tiny home on it for her, next to our little tiny home. Who knows? Who knows what the future will bring? I just know that Wow, my daughter is awesome. She's like one of my superheroes. She's out doing all those things. Well, not out, because she doesn't get to go out much, but she's doing those things that all those other parents tell their kids to do. We asked her to stay with school as long as she feels that she can deal with it mentally, emotionally. You know, if she can handle it, then stay with it, because education is probably the most important thing in life. Because without education, you can't really deal with anything else successfully. Well, that's just my opinion. I didn't have the opportunity to go past college. I'm probably a 20 units or so away from an Associate of Arts degree. It doesn't mean as much to me being 55. It'd be neat to go and finish it. And at some point I might head up the road here to the college and finish off my Associate of Arts degree. But like, it's more important for me to see my daughter succeed. She already knows I can do it. Physically, it's kind of a challenge for me since my second car accident. But I don't know, would I go back to college? Sure. I think that at this point, I kind of enjoy the direction that I'm going in. I don't work a whole lot, and the work that I do is very, very easy. So it doesn't really screw up my life. After my accidents and before I started doing the work I'm doing now, I did handyman work. And I was your handyman. I had done, several years, decades, couple of decades doing construction and painting, and a lot of painting. Worked for quite a few painting companies. Worked for one of my oldest childhood friends, Chris. I worked for him in Mammoth and in northern Nevada. And those were fun times. But when we moved back down here and I took on the handyman work, it was really great that I could pretty much write my own ticket every week. I would get on Craigslist and find jobs, small handyman jobs. And then I stepped up and got cards, business cards, and upped my fee so that I was considerably lower than most of the professional handymen in town, but I was still considerably more than the average, $8 to $15 an hour schlub. And I really enjoyed the work and the people that I was working for. And then I was becoming constantly overrun by those people who just wanted a better deal, right? I mean, I'm already giving less than half the hourly wage than most of the professional handymen. And I already offered fantastic deals, and would never charge for all of my time. I gave neighborhood discounts to everyone because I worked in the neighborhood in my town. And it seemed like it was never good enough. It's as good as my prices were and as good as my work was, they always wanted a better deal. Can you do more? What can you do for me? What I can do for you is get paid by you. When people are constantly berating you, well, this is too much. And I'm just like, well, you know what? That's fine. Been working with for a month now, and now all of a sudden I'm too expensive, when a month ago you were happy to have me at less than half the price of everybody else who quoted you. And now you just keep wanting better and better deals. Why not? I just come over and work for free. Or the people that are so Karen-esque and privileged that as soon as you accept the job, they feel like they own you and they can just boss you around and follow you and harp on you about shit, and then tell you how to do your job. Ask you over to explain how this can be fixed, and then when you're trying to fix it, they want to tell you how to fix it. If they could fix it, why didn't they just fix the damn thing? The great part about doing all of the handyman stuff in the area is the tools that I was able to procure during my time as handyman. A lot of the bigger jobs that I did, the remodels and stuff, really afforded me the ability to get these nice tools. And it allowed me to make the connections to leapfrog to the work that we're doing now, cleaning houses. Our area out here is just overrun by Airbnbs and vacation rentals. It's just, there's got to be upwards of 2,000 in our little town here. And when we started, there was like 400 Airbnbs, a couple of years ago. And we were getting less than a million visitors to the park in Joshua Tree. And now we're getting over 2 million visitors to the park a year. And so naturally, there's just a giant run on vacation rentals. But at the same time, when you've got so many, all of a sudden you've got fewer rentals for a lot of people. It's spread so thin now that we used to be booked, night after night after night, and now we're booked once or twice on the weekends, and that's several houses that we take care of. I gotta warm up my coffee. See if a dog wants out. Yeah. So anyway, got out of the handyman work and got into cleaning houses. And I'm kind of an assembly line minded type guy where I want everything done the same way every time, no matter what. Mainly for my own head, because I will go into a house, and if I don't do everything in a specific order, I will forget stuff. I will literally completely erase stuff from my mind if I think that I've done it, because you do things over and over and over and over and over again every day, every day, every day. For me, it's really easy to get confused on what the day is it, and not like, is it Monday or Tuesday, but was I here yesterday, or was it the day before? And I'm halfway through cleaning a house, and I'm wondering, where am I in the work, and what have I done already? And so to take all of that worry away, I have a specific way of doing each job that I do. When I do a bathroom, I start at one side of the bathroom and I work my way through to the other side of the bathroom. You go into the door, you take a right, you do your right all the way around, you take a right, and then you just start swinging around. And when you get to the door again, everything behind you is done. And that's the only way that I can do it and know that I've done it, right? And so I get to the point to where I'm halfway through the house, and I think back, did I do this? Did I do that? And I don't know. And that's because my head is so far removed from what I'm doing, because I just follow that flight path. I put it on autopilot, and I go into my head, and my body takes over and does all of the cleaning, and I'm inside of my head writing a song or working on a story or something. And I can totally detach my head from the work that I'm doing that way, because everything that I'm doing is following a street map, and I just follow that same street map, and I chuck my newspapers on the correct doors and go, and I'm out, and I'm in the next neighborhood. And that's the way I do it. And it works out great for me. And I'm able to go through, and my wife and I can knock out a house that isn't too abused. We can knock it out in an hour, hour and a half between the two of us, and move on to the next house, and then the next house, and then the next house. And we can take on 4 houses in a day, if only a couple of those are turnovers, which means a check-in that day. And she and I work really, really well together. We've had help, slight help in the past, and it just seemed to slow things down. I mean, as much as you would think that, hey, it's an extra person there, an extra couple of hands moving around is going to make things go faster. That's not always the case. Sometimes somebody who's there helping can hinder, and things just go backwards, or they just kind of stagnate along real slow. And if you're watching, you know who you are. But yeah, for me, the work that I do now, I mean, if I was working today, right, I wouldn't be leaving the house until 11:15. It's 5:35 now. I wouldn't be leaving the house till 11:15. And then I'm home by 1, if it's just one house, a couple of houses, I'm done by 2 or 3, and then back here and back to the program. Yeah. But bump. Oh, and Robert, Michelle, I'm happy to hear that you're back home, and that Michelle's doing better. That's awesome to hear. I hope we can hang out sometime soon. Since you live so far away, this is the only way we get to hang out. So let's do that sometime. We can just do a private chat, or we can do something like this and get you on the phone as well. That would be cool. Be awesome. My daughter got her new iPhone 15, which means I get her old iPhone 11 or something like that, which is very, very cool because it's going to have twice the memory of my current phone. And when she gets her new Apple laptop, then I can have her old one, and I'll have twice the video editing capability. I'll be able to do live stuff on more than one platform. With the new phone and the new computer, I'll be able to get on Instagram and have a few more apps on the phone, which will allow me to reach more people, which is pretty cool because I really, really want to reach the people that I know, but it's so much fun when you reach people that you don't know. And YouTube says that most of my, 25% of my audience is here in the United States. I don't know what that means. I don't. If somebody can explain the YouTube stuff to me, hop on sometime and talk to me. I'm here every Monday through Thursday from 5 to at least 6. So if you want to talk YouTube and live and streaming tech and that kind of stuff, I would really appreciate it. But yeah, where did I go again? I lost my thought. Yeah. Wow. Morning is cool. I can like totally have a thought and then it's like blowing out a match. It's just gone. I mean, just or flicking off a light, or spitting a watermelon seed. It's just gone, man. It's just fucking gone, And I know it's probably decades of smoking marijuana and other, being a painter for, a couple of decades, house painter, that is. I've sniffed a lot of paint, lacquer thinner, paint thinner, oil-based paints. Man, I have fried some brain cells there. And yet, most of the time, I feel like I'm the most intelligent one in the room when having a conversation. And that scares me because I ain't that bright. But yeah, back to demographics and who the hell are watching my videos. If you're watching, please leave a comment. Let me know where you're at, who you are, what you do, what you like about the past. Let me know what old TV shows and old movies you like watching. Show me a yearbook photo. I've got this great plan for a Sunday show, which is going to be a kind of a real people type show. It'll be me and a lot of recorded segments and music, interviews, adventures, and I'll kind of put together a little hour and a half long show of things that happen in my life. Yeah, because I mean, if you got a channel that's yours, and you can do whatever kind of shows you want, well, why would I want to focus on some? I'm not going to have a George Clooney. Let's talk about George Clooney. Gosh, I really love George Clooney. Did you see his new movie? I'm not going to do that. I mean, it's my show. Let me talk about me. I'm going to talk about me. It's my friggin' life. If you don't want to talk about me, well, let's talk about you. Let's talk about the past. But I don't want to, have a channel completely devoted to talking about other people's shit. Sure, let's have a show on this channel where we can talk a little bit about other people's shit, as long as it stays within the realm of time traveling to the past, you know. Now, I took this time slot, 5 a.m., mainly because I knew that most of you would be asleep. Of course, those of you closer to the East Coast are probably up and out and about and doing things. Do you guys do any of this stuff? I mean, most of you probably get up and go straight to your phones. At least that's what I see nowadays. People get up, and the first thing they do is they turn on their phone and they scroll through their messages and they see what kind of crap is going on out there, right? Facebook crap. Let me see. I used to turn my phone off at night and leave it plugged in and out here and then go to bed. And then I started taking it to bed with me because the alarm wakes me up and then keeps snoozing me until it's time to get on the air with y'all, right? So I kind of use the phone, but once I'm on the show, then I kind of use this for the alternate communication, leaving a comment while I'm here so I don't have to pick up the keyboard, being able to research stuff and dump links into the comments. So I like to use the phone for that. But for the most part, unless I'm talking about my show, I really prefer to stay off Facebook. You know, it's a time killer. It's a life stealer. And I can't see myself on there for more than, you know, an hour a day max. And that's, you know, most of that's just me copying and pasting my weird shit. Well, that's hard to hit. So it's been about 12 years since I quit cold turkey. And of course, cigarettes are never a fun story. I don't know, after my daughter was in first or second grade, we started to really notice that I never smoked cigarettes around my daughter at any age. She should, you know, have the opportunity to have clean air just like anyone else, especially as a child. So I never smoked with her in the car, with her in the house. I never smoked in the house. But after first or second grade, I started to notice that she would go kind of sniffly faced and watery eyed and a little bit when I would come in after having smoked. And of course, you got that cigarette smoke on you and you're kind of surrounded by an aura of tobacco linger. And so, and aside from it also being a burden on my own health issues, I just decided to just quit. And it was actually, we were at staying in a, we had moved out to Palm Springs, and in lieu of finding a house in Palm Springs, I wanted to get out of the city and out where it was a little bit cooler. So we moved out into Morongo Valley. Morongo Valley is not where the casino is. It's out in the direction of Joshua Tree, off the 10 freeway, out on the 62. And so it's about 20 minutes out of Palm Springs, but it's about 10 degrees cooler because it's up toward the higher desert in the direction of Big Bearish, right? So we were living in a fifth wheel trailer in exchange for caretaking on the property, an elderly woman and her elderly husband. So her elderly husband in 2011, in the New Year's, 2011, New Year's Eve, Mary's husband Lou, who was losing the battle to lung cancer, he had gotten hauled off to the hospital in very, very poor condition on New Year's Eve 2012. And while hanging out with Mary after they left, Mary just kept lighting up cigarettes, and she was, I mean, just an elderly woman in her 80s, right? Just very, very old, and of course, when you're that age and you've been smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol for that long, it kind of, you feel like you've been pickled, I guess. You're kind of it's like you've been prematurely embalmed. But so I'm standing there in her kitchen, and she's got a cigarette in the ashtray, and she lights up another one, and she's got two cigarettes burning there. And I'm standing in the kitchen, and I'm about halfway with a cigarette. And at this point, I had only been smoking probably a half a dozen cigarettes a day at this point. I was just really trying to cut back. In fact, I was smoking a half a cigarette and then putting it out, and then sparking it up later, finishing it off. But I watched her light up a cigarette with one burning in the ashtray. And that, and her husband having just been hauled off to the hospital, dying of lung cancer, I squashed out my half-burnt cigarette. I took the pack of cigarettes out of my pocket, and half a pack of cigarettes. I squeezed them and twisted them and dropped them into the trash can without telling anyone, without saying anything. I just decided that at that point I'd had enough. Cigarettes just weren't doing me anything. They weren't doing me any good. And if you'd seen a previous episode of Mornings, then you know that how I started smoking cigarettes and why. And that was the stupidest reason to start. And so I thought, okay, well, I've got to have at least a better reason to stop, you know, because a stupid reason to stop would be like, oh, by the way, you're dying, so now it's time to stop. That would be ridiculous. So, and her husband is dying of cancer, and she's still jamming those things into her lungs. And that amazed me. So I thought, okay, that's it. I'm done. And I was completely finished. And to this day, I haven't had a cigarette. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't smoke one if you told me that the world was coming to an end, or hey, you got a few days to live, or you're gonna be dead soon anyway, or if something, I don't know, if something intense or dramatic or painful happening would drive me to smoke. I guess it would have to be really, really horrible, something that would get me to go backward. But I don't see myself smoking cigarettes any longer. I never fancied myself a cigarette smoker. Yeah. I had never really quit smoking cigarettes before. I had stopped, you know, because I had stopped smoking several times throughout my life. And I always seem to come back. Would it be a year, 2 years, 3 years, and boom, I'd be smoking cigarettes again for some stupid reason. Hey, give me one of those. When you're at work and it's like you're bored and, give me one of those butts. And no more. I just got to the point where it was like, you know what? I don't need this anymore. Where I felt like, wow, I could smoke a cigarette. Did I? No. Did I? No. Did I want to? Now I had done other drugs before, but they never really stuck. Those other drugs, they never did much for me. So I've just kind of stuck to marijuana my whole life. It's not of course, if you were to talk to somebody 20, 30 years ago, or when I was a kid, right, smoking that devil weed, and you get just a million people coming at you with the same old tired rhetoric that they've been taught, from on high. That stuff's bad for you. It's the devil's weed. It'll kill you. It'll do this. It's a gateway drug, right? How many times we hear gateway drug growing up? You don't hear gateway drug anymore. They figured out that marijuana was a gateway to the freaking refrigerator. No, I don't see marijuana as being one of those deadly drugs. You want to talk deadly drugs? Well, let's talk about what is that stuff called? Fentanyl, or Molly, or Trank, or even cocaine or speed. I mean, those are, kill you drugs. Those are the drugs that, if you're going to do those drugs, well, you might as well just jump into a fucking grave and start pulling dirt over the top of you, And if you are going to do those drugs, well, because if that's what you want, because if you ain't going to have one little spark inside of you that makes you want to change, and that's all it takes is one little spark, because spark can ignite a flame, and so on and so freaking on, but you gotta want it. And if you don't want it, yeah, and if you don't want it and you ain't gonna go after it yourself, well, then I ain't gonna help you get there. I bet that route. You try to help, and all they do is just create more issues, because they just thrive on drama. They just thrive on bullshit, and that's why they do the speed, because it's bullshit, and they just love to get into it and then sit around and talk about bullshit, shit that ain't gonna get you anywhere, ain't gonna go nowhere, ain't gonna do nothing. You do your shit, you do your speed, you get all fucked up, and then what? And then what? Sit in the middle of a pile of shit and do nothing. Sit on Facebook all day and do nothing. There you go. And what about them potheads? Them damn potheads. They don't do a damn thing anyway. Yeah, well, I ain't out screwing up the world. I ain't screwing anybody over. I ain't taking advantage of anybody. I'm just doing my thing. And what am I going to do when I'm not sitting here doing this morning show? Well, if I'm not out working, then more than likely I'm playing these guitars, reading one of these books, listening to one of these records, watching an old movie, watching an old TV show, driving around in my van, listening to some jams, and working on this channel, because I have faith that it will snowball into something weird and wondrous. So Yeah, please stay tuned for the madness. And I am unapologetic about the picture that you see. I don't do close-ups. At this point, I don't do multi-camera stuff. Again, this is kind of a fishbowl view of my life. And as weird as it is, I do thank y'all for being here, stopping by once in a while. Please leave a comment, subscribe, like, do all of that stuff so we can have some more fun. When I get to 100 subscribers, I got to start giving stuff away. And if I get to 100 episodes of the morning show and I still do not have 100 subscribers, probably I'm going to gather names, whether from my friends list and YouTube's subscribers, and what other sources I can come up with. I'm going to start dropping names into a hat and draw names and send things out. You'll just kind of have to wait and see what the gifts are going to be. But let's do this, the first bong hit of the day. It's for all you weirdos. So if you do stop by, comment, please. Like, subscribe, share. If you could share this idea with others, that would be neat. The more people we have on this expedition to the past, I think the more fun it's going to be. At some point, I'd like to get some of the other YouTubers involved with this, some of the other time travelers. And I'll have to research some names. But I've seen some great stuff out there of people airing videos from the 80s. Yeah. So anyway, I guess I will wrap it up for this morning, since I got nothing better to do. I guess well, you know what? I can stay with you for a little longer because, like I said, I got nothing better to do. So, I don't know what y'all are doing. I imagine a lot of you are just waking up, running off to work, sitting there on your phone, Facebooking, booking on your face. Yeah. Yeah. So if somebody says it's written on your face, does that mean you got a Facebook? Yeah. Okay. So like there's people all over, and so there are some people right now it's 6 o'clock, and for some people right now it's 7 o'clock, and for other people it's 8 o'clock, and for even other people it's 9 o'clock. And then there's like people maybe in Hawaii there, right? That they're like even earlier, maybe 2 or 3 in the morning. I don't even know what the hell time it is over there. It's got to be early, eh? Don't you know? But whether it's early or whether it's late, whether the sun is up or down or just coming up, it's starting to get blue out here. My little window. But whatever's going on out there, I hope you have a wonderful day doing it. I hope you have a wonderful, had a wonderful weekend. Hope you have a wonderful week. Yeah, I'm still kind of going. That I'm going to a concert this weekend. I mean, my goodness, there's so many concerts. I mean, so many since, since November of 2022, right? I mean, yeah, it was November 15th, 2022. We went and saw Harry Styles and Ben Harper. And then it was a couple of weeks after that, and we went and saw the 1975 with the Black Star Kids. And then after that, 2023, my gosh, there was like a million shows. You know, we saw Harry Styles again on his birthday. Most recently, we saw the 1975 at the Hollywood Bowl. In between, my daughter saw Pierce the Veil and um, who else? Fall Out Boy. Um, and my gosh, who else did we see? Oh, we saw Lucas Nelson and Promise of the Real. Um, and there's other stuff in there, but my brain won't let me remember it. But I know we saw so many shows last year, more shows than, I mean, I'm going on the point to where I will have seen more shows with my daughter than I saw back when I was a kid. I mean, because I saw quite a few shows when I was younger, and quite a few shows total before my daughter was born. But just in the last 2 years, um, my daughter has become a concert junkie. Um, and she's seen Harry Styles 3 times now. Um, and we're going on 3 times for the 1975. Wow. And yeah, I really love the fact that she has decided to do this with her extra time and money. Because, as far as I'm concerned, musical learning, musical enjoyment, it's always a great investment in oneself. Um, and she has put so much energy into schooling from the first grade to her second year now in college that, she deserves the whole, idea of being able to go and enjoy herself on her level the way she wants to, and I'm so jazzed that jazz hands. I'm so jazzed that she has decided um, not to like say, okay, well, I'm going to go on spring break, or I want to go to Vegas and do this, or I want to do this, you know, whatever, um, you know, because a lot of those kids out there, young adults, just want to haul ass into adulthood. And I've made it my job um, as a parent to keep her as young as possible, inside and in her head. I'm sure she is quite the adult in her own right with her friends, and has done enough adult things to scare a father to death. But I also know that she has the brains to deal with just about anything that's going to come her way. And she's not so all hell bent on getting experience doing things, um, things that I would have done, you know, preteen, you know. Um, those things alone as a preteen would have scared most parents. Yeah. But yeah, it just amazes me how you look around and people are just so into themselves. And there's this whole huge, onslaught of generation after generation after generation that has become so wrapped up in themselves. It seems like we're starting to have a spark of the younger generation, this younger crowd of people seeing what's going on, really seeing it, and not wanting to be a part of the self-indulgence and the me. What can I do for me? You're seeing more people getting involved and helping others. At least that's what I see. I see a lot of kids my daughter's age and younger who just want to party. All they want to do is have fun. But I also see a huge selection of the same age who not necessarily want to give back, but they don't want to take so much, and that's encouraging. What would be really fun would be to have some younger guests on the Friday evening show. Kids my daughter's age, have them on to explain how they see the world and get it straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. That's not a bad idea. We'll have to look into that. In fact, we'll have to look into widening the age range of people that I would like to have sit with me in this room and talk about the past versus the present, because I don't want to force the ways of the past onto people. That's not what I'm about. That's not what I'm trying to do. I don't want to say our time was better and everybody sucks now and you all should take the past. That's not me. That's not what I want to do. I want to show you the fun things from the past. I want you to kind of come along with me on occasion and experience what those things were like, and kind of give you an idea, if you weren't there, what it felt like, and this isn't, I'm not a show to reset everybody's moral compass, and I'm not here to bag on people and say you should be more like me, because I think everybody deserves to be themselves and be individual. I should know it. I've been, harassed my whole life just for being me. And that's not nice. So am I going to do that to other people? No. Am I going to comment on the way things are and the way people are on occasion? Sure. I mean, everybody will. I'm not going to dwell on religion or politics or factions or organizations or individuals, and to each his own. Everybody's got to figure it out. If you want to talk, if you want help, advice, if you want to ask, well, what would they have done? What did they do when I was a kid? What was it all about? What was punishment like? You know, what was talking to adults like back then? You know, were teachers cool then? Are they cool now? You know, yeah, let's, you know, there's so many things to talk about. And I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be that guy who comes down on everybody because they're not like me. Because wouldn't that be a screwed up world if we were all the same? You know, I think so. I enjoy the colors that make up the tapestry of our world. You know, um, we need to be different. We also need to be accepting of those differences. Um, because wouldn't we have very little to talk about if we were all the same and everything was the same all the time, right? Totally. I mean, there's so much, you know, just personally from one human to the next. There's so much that is the same that there's almost no reason to even dwell on the slightest difference, right? What, you know, what's the argument if there's so much more that we can agree on? You know, do you want to fight on this one issue, yet there's so much more surrounding us that makes us the same, that this one issue is going to cause us to pick up arms against each other? No, I don't see it. I think it goes right back to education, you know, intelligence. Yeah, I think we can all find something, no matter how different we are, no matter how different our beliefs are. I think that it's so easy to find commonality. Um, it, there's so much more that makes us the same than that would separate us, right? So um, don't be influenced by anything other than your own heart, right? Because your head can tell you, this is what I've been told, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is who I'm supposed to hate. But in your heart, unless your heart has been completely hardened, you know um, that we're more alike than not. So why even go to the alternate extreme? I don't get it.
I digress. I'm going to take a step back here.
Yeah. So I'm going to warm up my coffee, and then we'll talk some more, right? So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Okay. Squeaky, squeaky. Oh, look at that. The sun's coming up. Isn't that neat? That doesn't happen too often on the morning show. We get the sun coming up in the window there. At some point, as we get closer to summer, into spring there, I imagine this sunrise back here will, on occasion, it's a really beautiful orange or pink or purple. And I'm hoping that colors are going to come through that window. Right now, it's we're just getting a blue. We're just getting a blue haze. And I'll have to rearrange the lighting in this room. You can see my lava lamp is starting to have fun over there. That's a new addition. But as is me, I'm always a new addition because every morning I feel new. A new broken guy, but I feel new. And I hope you all are enjoying your coffee this morning, or tea, or sleep, or whatever you're doing. Some of you are off to work. Some of you are taking kids off to school. Some of you are taking grandkids off to school. Oh, that's right, Robert. The girl. She's coming back and she's going to school this morning, huh? Well, tell her I said hi. That's very cool. Grandkids, kids. That's I got a late start. I really did. Yeah. I mean, by the time we had our daughter, most a lot of my friends already had kids and were like grandkids were on the way. So a lot of the people that I grew up with are grandparents. That's pretty heavy. So I guess that, I don't want to say that being a grandparent makes you feel old, because I'm sure it doesn't. But on the other hand, not being a grandparent at this age and having a child in college, that kind of makes me feel young, and that's cool. Having a kid, having a child who I get to go to concerts with, but is still under the drinking age, well, that makes me feel young too. Yeah, she really makes me feel young. She really does. Having younger friends helps me feel young. That's kind of funny. When I was a little kid growing up, I always found it easier to talk to adults, right? And then as a teenager, I found it that I had a lot of adult friends. But as I got older, I found that I had no friends at all. But most recently, most of the people that I know and actually come in contact with are actually younger, considerably younger than me, at least 10 years, if not more. Of course, I don't have a huge, fan base. I don't have a huge bunch of people that I regularly hang out with, which is probably another reason why I do this. Sit here and talk to myself in the mornings. I still marvel at how weird this idea of a show is, for some old guy to sit here and talk about nothing for an hour every morning. Isn't that weird? I don't know. Maybe 100 years into the future, some server will be examined and they'll yank these stupid videos off of there, and somebody will enjoy sitting and having coffee with me in the mornings. I doubt it, but wouldn't that be neat? Wouldn't that be neat? Yeah. Well, what would be really neat is if there was a vacation rental that had the whole feel of the 1980s and, of course, 60s and 60s. That would be kind of cool, you know, and we could stay in a place like that. Huh. There's another neat idea. Squeaky chair, squeaky chair. So let's see. What do we talk about this morning? Anything good? I don't recall. I'm sure that if you watch more than one video of these live broadcasts, that you'll see me saying things more than once, maybe even telling the same story or joke on occasion more than once. And yeah, that's definitely going to happen because I'm an old guy, and old guys do that. Did I ever tell you about the time? Yeah, Grandpa, you told us that 80 times. Yep. Well, you know, I thought it was kind of weird when people when that would happen with people when I was younger, but I don't find it so weird anymore. You know, my grandmother Opal, she used to scream 8 names when she'd get frustrated, and she'd scream like 8 names before she'd get to you. I got, damn it, Tina Robert, Brady, David, out. And and she wasn't the first person that I heard do that, but man, was it hilarious when she did it. Oh, because she'd catch herself getting frustrated about it. And boy, if we're really related, Grandma, boy, I know what you're going through. Yep, because that was one of those things. Yeah, totally. Anyways, so I guess I'm just gonna sit here and do another Bong Hits game. Because, you know, morning time is the right time to get rid of pain. Because I seem to wake up in the pain. And I could eat a gummy, but it's so hard to regulate the buzz versus the diminishing of the pain. It's easier for me to regulate the pain reduction versus the just getting too stoned factor. So man, I'm getting cramps this morning. Stupid legs. So usually in the mornings, what I'll try to do is just kind of take a couple of hits depending on my pain level. Some mornings I don't have to do more than a hit or so. Some I got to do a few more. And then I'll leave the gummies for like the evening, because I know in the evenings I'm pretty much done for the day, and I don't have to worry about jumping in the car and taking off. Having smoked marijuana most on and off, but mostly since I was 15 years old. Yeah, I mean there have been I have read studies and seen documentary or two on the effects of marijuana and those who have been veteran marijuana smokers and their abilities to function. And I believe it's, to some degree, it's true that that after so many years of smoking marijuana, you can actually compartmentalize. Is that what compartmentalize the buzz from your functioning? So if I'm stoned, all right, and I need to get up and walk a straight line, or I need to get up and have a steady hand, I can do that only because after so many decades, my brain has been trained to react to marijuana similar to fictional synthahol in the Star Trek shows, synthahol, where it's an alcohol that gives you the same effects, the same buzz as an alcohol, but those effects can easily be dismissed, right? And I think most functioning marijuana smokers can probably agree with me that on most levels, they can just decide, okay, I got to be straight now, and then they're straight. Okay, I gotta walk a straight line. I gotta talk to somebody. I need to function. I need to drive, whatever the issue, and I don't condone intoxicated driving at all, at any time. But in an emergency situation, I would choose a long time functioning marijuana smoker to drive versus a long time functioning alcoholic. Okay. Alcohol is alcohol. It is a poison for your brain. I can't say that marijuana is not, because it's probably going to give me cancer, but I hardly say that the effects are the same. So yeah, here's to marijuana, and taking away the pain, but not putting me to sleep. Taking away the pain and not making me feel like a goofball. Because I'm sure the more you hang out with me, the more you spend time with me, you realize that marijuana smokers aren't a bunch of freaking goofballs like, hey man, let's sit around and get stoned, you know? Sure, there is a culture of that, but you have a lot of very successful and intelligent and influential people who are longtime marijuana smokers. Admitted or not, they're out there. So yeah, here's to you functioning marijuana smokers, you veterans of the weed. And yes, every morning my alarm is set to 4:20. So I'm not up getting high at 4:20 in the morning, but I do get up at 4:20 because I think it's an appropriate time for me to get up and get my act together for the show. Yeah, it just helps me get in the right frame of mind. I get up, I look down at my alarm, and it says 4:20, and I hit snooze. You know, and in fact, my morning routine, after having been up 3 or 4 times in the night for personal business, I'll get up at 4:20. Well, snooze my alarm at 4:20. Of course, this morning, a cat was squalling outside the freaking house all morning. Uh, God, it had to be like 3 in the morning. I heard that damn thing. And then, yeah, so I'll get up at about 4:30, come out here, log on, get my live stuff set up, take a little toilet time, get my Facebook stuff shared so that people can see that I'm going live. I'll start coffee, I'll warm the place up, and then at 5 a.m. I start my show and go live. Like that. There's not too much hoopla. I mean, it's pretty basic. But I've been sorely lacking routine in my life. Um, not having one of those 9 to 5 jobs, not being required to go out and hustle to make a living on such a daily basis, and when you keep your bills and your lifestyle very, very Spartan and minimal, and this, I know this doesn't look very Spartan or very minimal, but on the overall, we don't live an extravagant life. We don't live in an extravagant area, or in a very plush home, and we keep it on the down low, and then that way we don't have to rush. We can be home to make dinner. We can have time together to hang out. We can be there for each other and for the animals. And this way, there's always one of us at home. There's always one of us available to take care of whatever needs to be going on. My wife likes to get out there and meet people and do things and stuff. And that's kind of just the person she is. I used to be like that. And then pain kind of beat me down. And now, not so much. I'm not out there making it happen. I'm more of a kind of sitting here making it happen guy. I'm more of a thinker, an idea man. And I guess I've been ruminating on this idea here for a couple of years, and finally decided that this was the proper way to get it going. This is going to allow me to work on everything that I need on YouTube live, as well as give me the motivation, the drive, the tenacity to stick with it and to create more original content. Like I said, I'm an idea man, and I'm just full of ideas. Out of 100 ideas, maybe out of 1,000 ideas, one of those ideas I will actually grab onto and do something with. I used to fill notebooks and those composition books, little notepads. I have stacks of notepads and composition books of just notes, words, lyrics, song lyrics, poetry, short story ideas, drawings, technical schematics for ideas. I mean, you name it. If somebody has thought it, I've probably rethought it 100 times. Being an insomniac has given me a lot of time to sit in my own head. And I spent a lot of time there. I really, really do. I'm in my head right now. If I wasn't on YouTube, more than likely, I would be in my own head going through the same rigmarole that I am here. And only I would be my only audience. At least here, there's a chance, the slight opportunity that somebody else might be watching. So if somebody is watching, which I think someone is, leave me a comment and let me know who you are and where you're at. If you're just checking in, I'm just sitting here talking about YouTube content and doing bong hits and drinking some coffee. And it looks like you're gone. But that's cool. Thanks for stopping by. This isn't one of those high adventure action shows. I'm not going to be throwing a lot of pictures and videos and sounds and stuff your way. If you're into hanging out and having coffee and a little conversation in the morning, well, then this is probably the spot for you. If not, this is probably a little too slow for you. This is designed for the person who wants to get up and kind of just hang out. Somebody who's alone in the morning, the only one awake in the house. You don't necessarily have to have this in front of your face. You can be driving and just have the audio on, and we can just kind of have a conversation. If you can speak comments to your car or to your phone while you're driving, well, that's cool. But if not, we'll just hang out and listen. It's just one of those days we're just chilling out, But like I said, if it wasn't for YouTube at this point, I'd be sitting in here, listening to something by myself, reading, hanging out with one of the dogs. I keep it pretty casual, pretty much all the time. At any given time of the day, you can probably find me here doing this or that, or working on some other little project. Like I said, I got a million ideas going through my head all the time, and I can only get a lasso around one at a time, and then break it down and out of 1,000, maybe one will hold and I'll get something. I gave up writing in notebooks, basically because I would just write the stuff down and then forget about it. On occasion, lately, I will text myself something, an idea, a paragraph, a song lyric, an idea, something to think about. What's a really fun game is to speak gobbledygook into your text, because you can do a voice text, right? So you voice text yourself just gobbledygook, just gibberish, right? And then let your phone interpret that mushy nonsense, right? Let me see. I'll give you an example, okay? Since we've only got 18 minutes left here, I'll open up my text, and I will find myself, because I send myself lots of texts. Where am I? There I am. And here we go. Open it up, boys. Gerbnagdaba, Herdaba Forga Salomon, Borgaba Begga de Suzu, Dignaba Hagnan, Burgla Burgla Hagnabug Fakis Segid Morganaga. Period. Okay. So my phone decided that I said germ, agdaba, heard the before the salmon, bark it up a bigger, Suzu, digma, magnum liberty. And I will post that into the comment section right now of this video, and you can all see what my gobbledygook sounded like. Now, I'm really good at speaking in tongues like that, speaking gibberish, because as a child, I used to sit around and make shit up constantly. I was kind of a wordy, kind of a noisemaker as a child. Look, I'm sitting here watching myself. Okay, so I'm going to put in the comments. I'm going to copy. There it is. Okay, so I just put into the comments what gibberish I said into my phone. And there is what my phone interpreted my gibberish to be. So enjoy that. And if you get a chance, speak some gibberish into your own text and then copy it, paste it into the comments. And we'll have a gibberish conversation. Won't that be fun? Okay, that's cool. And I can turn you off because I don't need to sit and look at myself again, because I've got me right here in front of me. Germ, Agdaba, heard the before the salmon, bark it up a bigger Tsuzu, digma magnum liberty. There you go. Isn't that cool? Speaking gibberish to your phone. Okay, so back to this. Another one of these, and then maybe I'll get up and work on a video. Okay, people, so like I said, I'm going to be saving the musical portion of the channel for should we say the Friday night show, because I think that I'm in kind of a better musical mood in the evenings, and I think there's a better opportunity to have an actual musical guest in the evenings. So there, or any kind of guest. But I think that we will try to always have some form of musical entertainment on the Friday evening show. And that will be a 5 o'clock show, 5 p.m. And it shouldn't be too much further down the road. It might even be this Friday. But if I were to hazard a guess, it might not be until the Friday after. mainly because the audio video issue, going to a concert on Saturday, and I don't want concerts and things that happen over the weekend to interfere with the show or any of the shows. But on that note, yeah, there's going to be an occasion where I'll be doing a lot of night driving and early morning driving to and from concerts. So on occasion, I may miss a morning, or I'll be how do you say, coming to you live at 5 in the morning after having been up all night. Because the last couple of concerts that I went to, including the one with Dave and Kristen, I'm usually up pretty late. This last one, when I went to see Big Sandy and his Fly Right Boys, and that was at Pappy and Harriet's, which is just 20 minutes up the road here. I mean, it's here in town, and it was just 20 minutes up the road, and we were home relatively early, by 11:30, I think, and I was still up till 3 in the morning. Now, when we get home from a concert at 2 in the morning, well, I'm going to be up till 5 anyway. Just about every time we've gone out to the Forum or LA or Hollywood or something, we've come home at 2, between 1 and 2 in the morning. I think the latest was 2:30, and each one of those times I've, just stayed awake until the sun came up for some reason. Mainly because you don't want to go to sleep seeing the highway. You wake up in frightful situations when you go to sleep after having been driving for a long time. Well, long drives are worst, because you wake up fast thinking that you're still driving, and man, does that just make you crazy. So, but I'm used to doing that late night driving and then staying awake until the sun comes up. So more than likely, you're going to get a few shows where I'm not there the show before, and then I'll show up, at 5 in the morning after having been awake all night. If I'm going to go to a concert, more than likely I'm going to sleep in late that day, as late as I can, and then do all that driving and concert, and then the driving again, and then I'm going to be awake for a while. So I'll probably miss one morning and then be on the following morning, with not much between my ears, but that's cool. Does my head shine? That's cool. Looks like I got an aura. That's neat. No, I'm not copy and pasted on here. I'm real. Okay. Anyway, coffee. So that's it. That was the last swallow of coffee. That's it. It's all gone. I've got this donut sitting here, but I just haven't had the. I'm not real hungry in the mornings. I'm not a morning food person. I guess it's probably the pain. Because I wake up. Sleeping is not fun anymore. And I spend a lot of time moving around at night because I can't stay in one position for too long a time. Because if I do, it just creates more pain. So I spend most of the night kind of sitting up in bed. And then once I've gotten up 2 or 3 times in the evening, and I know that I've only got about an hour or 2 left to sleep, then I can kind of lay out flat and straight and sleep differently. But even then, I put my neck and my body into strange situations trying to get comfortable. And then I can only stay comfortable for a short period of time, and then I got to move again. And that kind of sucks. So I don't get any real solid sleep. And being an insomniac, of course, I can't sleep for more than 5 or 6 hours a night. And then on top of that, I get up 2 or 3 times, 4 times in the middle of the night, and that shortens the amount of REM sleep that I get. So, I mean, some days I'll get up and I'll be sitting here and I'll be on a cup of coffee that most people will be, levitating up off the ground. And I'm ready to go back to sleep, and maybe the marijuana, maybe that has something to do with it. I don't believe it has a whole lot to do with it. I think it's more that the more that I smoke in the morning, the less pain that I'm attached to, or the less pain that attaches itself to me, and I can kind of a little distance between the pain. And when I get that distance, I think my body gets drowsy because all of that lack of sleep catches up with me, and I get relaxed enough that I could actually go back to sleep. Yeah. At least that's the way I feel. But yeah. I don't know, we're going on 2 hours. I don't know if I want to keep going or what. It'll probably be or what. I really think I should work on a project. Don't know what that project is. I'll have to look in my notes and see what I've got written up, what I should work on. Don't really have anything planned today. I have to take my daughter to the college up the road here, and let her speak to one of her counselors or somebody, if there's anybody even in. Chances are nobody's in yet because everybody's still on winter break. And then if there is any staff there, they're probably minimal. So we'll see. But let's see, what else should I do today? I know I'll break out that mandolin and see what I can do with that. That's probably a wise decision. Yeah. Mandolin. It's for my wife. I should have got a mandolin. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. Am I awake? All right, I'm just checking, because every once in a while I think my sound has gone to sleep, and you guys will have to tell me, because as I've said before, and I'll probably say again, I don't really like to go back and watch these videos. That's not the purpose of these videos. At some point, I may have the need to go back and take some things from some of these videos. But for me, I don't need to watch myself. I'm watching myself now on the monitor, hoping for a comment. But like I said, these videos aren't for me so much as they are for my family and friends and people who know me and people who don't know me. the opportunity for me to get to know you and you to get to know me. We can only really have a back and forth if you all hang out and watch a full video and make some comments and give me some back and forth on what we're talking about. But at this point, I don't, this is good therapy for me. I think at some point in my daughter's life, she'll enjoy going back and watching these, and that'll be cool. I don't know what the shelf life of the whole social media YouTube thing is going to be. I would hate to think that I do all of this and then it's for naught and then it's all lost somehow. I hope that in some way this survives so that it can be viewed, again and again by not just, this morning stuff, because this morning stuff is pretty much minimal. It's just kind of my way of, hanging out. But I hope at some point this becomes important to somebody, at least if only one person finds this comforting, finds this entertaining, finds it uplifting, finds it amusing, funny, whoever you might be, thanks for participating. But like I said, I don't know what is going to become of all of this. So I guess we'll just leave it at that. Hopefully I'll see you again and again and again and again until it's over and until I'm over. And if for no other purposes than to just have a place to go to that's familiar. Because I think we all need a place like that. At least I do. And that's why I've created my room here. It's because I just need a familiar place. And I hope I become a familiar face. And I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by. Adios, weirdos.